I haven't written in a while. I haven't been feeling too hot these last few months, especially since I'm dry on dough right now. But I decided to revisit this one last time for a while. Not that writing is my favorite thing to think about or do right now, but sometimes it entertains me. That reminds me, the amount of Hollywood phonies DB has introduced me to these last few years makes me hate the movies more. My mom had told me that one of the random psychiatrists would help me enjoy more things, but movies still annoy the goddamn hell out of me. Now, it's not even just the movies that are lousy. Any literature, script, or poem I read just reminds me of all those Hollywood stars, and it makes me sick. I remember reading a goddamn script that DB had brought home about 4 years ago. I had actually just gotten home from my very successful trip out west, and I took a stroll through what looked to be a disgusting excuse for that old museum since I had some time before meeting DB. The goddamn rubble and dust was everywhere, but I was hoping I would see something that would entertain me. Then I saw something that really put me off. I barely even want to talk about it. I guess it's not a matter of what the thing was, it's more about the crappy memories in my brain wouldn't stop thinking about. The one lousy memory I had some fun remembering was those two little kids. Or at least I was having fun until my goddamn curiosity started off. I hate when that happens. You are always appreciating one small thing in the world and then is ruined by your own goddamn thoughts. You can never just think of something in the moment. Your brain always has to wonder about the before and after and the present, and you have no choice but to think along with it. Well, I guess it's not too bad to think ahead in some things, but 9 times out of 10, you're getting entertained by some lousy thought, and then it gets taken away by your own head. Anyway, when I met up with DB at one of the newer diners in town, that's when I read that real excuse of a script. It was about a kid that stumbled into a roundabout. Those things on the road that circle around and you're supposed to yield to all the goddamn cars in it. The kid looped about 100 times in the thing before a driver slammed him, and the audience is expected to feel like it's some sort of terrible tragedy. The thing is that it's completely the kid's fault. It makes me sick just imagining the audience actually blaming the driver. It's ridiculous. Kid was an idiot. I'll admit though, if I was him, I probably would have gone around for a bit, but nowhere near 100 times. At some point, I've learned you gotta move forward. You can't just go around the goddamn bout over and over again. My lousy teacher at Princeton used to say that's insanity or something, but it didn't make any actual sense to me until recently. It feels good to write about that now. I feel pretty good now. I guess I'll talk about what used to be my job before I'm out of ink in this pen. I was an assistant teacher at one of the decent schools in the West. I don't even care enough to mention the name of the friggin' school. All of them are the same. I was doing great at first, though. I really was. The day I decided to quit was also a day of terror for the children. Of course, the terror wasn't because I left them. Trust me, I wish they cared about me as much as I do them to react like that because of me. We were doing arithmetic, just like any other lousy day before the PA system speakers created a racket. The goddamn noise was excruciating. It was terrible, and everybody got scared except me at first. It almost sounded like someone was trying to speak, but couldn't get the words out, and that's when I knew something was off. This day was different, and I began to like that it was. That was before the real reason dawned on me that almost scared me to death. Some son of a bitch about the size of filthy Maurice had broken into the school office and caused a racket. I didn't know about the actual issue until I heard the muffled police sirens over the screeching speakers. We did our normal routines, flushing the children out of the classroom, and some were running so goddamn fast I had to catch them and redirect them to safety. Although the day was a tragedy to most, I found it interesting. It was unique. As I left the school that day, that's when I figured what I'd do next. For once, I actually looked forward to something. It felt really good. I needed to wrap up some confusing things back up home east before starting. And that leads me here. The goddamn pen is on its last straw. I haven't got much else to say anyway. I'm supposed to meet up with another Mr. Nguyen this afternoon. This is the third one, and they're all the same. I'll admit, they've helped me a good deal since the last time I wrote. I'm feeling better. I'll be done here in a week, and this time I'm going to try heading south. Maybe I'll get another job or just be one of those hellbound phonies on the street. Or maybe, just maybe, I'll build that cabin partly in the forest, but not too much in the forest, and close enough to a bar or something. I'll do anything except become a goddamn student or teacher aide again. I guess working those jobs wasn't too bad. But I really want something different. Even if they are cruddy, I have to find something new down south if it's the last thing I do.